When traveling by plane, distances appear closer and the journey there is completed much more quickly. It goes without saying that it was one of the most important innovations in human history. Despite being one of the safest forms of transportation in the world, flying causes fear in many people. That doesn't stop you from encountering terrible things, though. Here, I'm going to demonstrate some awful facts about airplanes. 1. There is no safer seat. Of course they are few, but plane crashes do happen. And they are different from each other, so there is no safer place to sit on a plane to prevent an accident. The safest place is calculated after the accident has already happened. But for testing in 2012, researchers used a Boeing 747 filled with crash dummies and made an emergency landing in the Mexican desert. What they saw was that the people further up the plane would be in worse places. That's because on landing the cockpit was destroyed and some seats were thrown. And a 2015 analysis by Times magazine found that seats in the middle and near the back of the plane would have lower death rates. 2. Bathroom is not the dirtiest place. Probably most people tend to think that the bathroom is the dirtiest place, practically, of all places. But on planes this is not true. A 2015 study by Travel Math found that even if the discharges had 265 bacteria-forming units, CFU, per square centimeter, there were worse places. The seat back trays were places with 2,155 CFU per square centimeter. That's 8 times more bacteria than those found in toilet flushes. This place is probably dirtier because of its cleanliness limitations. Usually the crew takes out the trash but does not sterilize the trays. Like, subscribe and share this content with some friend. Help us to spread free valuable knowledge. 3. Pilots sometimes sleep. The survey, carried out by European Cockpit in 2012, analyzed 6,000 pilots in a fatigue barometer. In the result, 3 out of 5 drivers in Sweden and Norway admitted to making mistakes because of fatigue. And in Germany that number was 4 out of 5. Most alarmingly, 40% of British pilots confessed to falling asleep while piloting the aircraft. And a third of them also admitted to having their co-pilot in the same situation. Pilots are allowed to sleep, but at least one has to stay awake. 4. Flight with only one engine. Transoceanic flights are usually made by planes that have 3 or 4 engines. But multi-engine jets are being replaced by more fuel-efficient twin-engine planes. With advances in engineering, an engine failure is less likely to happen. And even if it does, jets can take off and land with just one engine. Even if both engines fail, the plane can glide perfectly while passing air over its wings. 5. Blanket may not be new. On longer journeys, airlines may give passengers blankets. They come packaged in plastic, but that doesn't mean they're new. Investigative journalists from the Wall Street Journal did a survey and found that most blankets are washed once every 5 to 30 days. In addition, they are reused by passengers between washes. 6. Only 90 seconds to get out of a burning plane. Thinking that you will be involved in a plane crash is a very bad thing, but it's always good to be prepared and know what to do. And in the case of a burning plane, the Federal Aviation Administration requires that the aircraft be evacuated in 1 minute and 30 seconds. The reason for this time is because that's exactly how long it takes for the fire to engulf and spread through the cabin of an airplane. 7. Oxygen mask lasts between 12 and 20 minutes. The famous oxygen masks that are always mentioned in the warnings before takeoff last for a maximum of 20 minutes. Luckily, this is long enough for the pilot to steer the plane to an altitude where the additional use of a mask is not required to breathe. Please make the internet cleaner and full of good knowledge. Share it with a friend and let us know what you think in the comments.